Well, hello. It is where I live. It is January 18th still. This says January 19th. This is the Morphed Integrated Microwave Imagery, and I want to show you this little section right through here. See that? It's extremely interesting to me. Let's watch it again. Boing. Now, the date for that is up here. And if you go down along the bottom here, you can click on Recent Images, and then it'll take me to a page. Okay, come on, let's go. All right. Okay, so it takes me here, and the dates for the images start at 2013, so I have to go all the way down, 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 down. And oddly enough, even though it said the 17th, when I look at it, I have to start looking at the 18th, January 18th, to see what we were looking at. And let's see, this is the first one, which there's just a little tiny bit of something that shows up here. And then we'll go down to the next one. You can see it starting to come up on here. And then we'll go to the next one, and you can see more. Let me see if I can make that bigger for us. And here's the date and the time up here. Okay, let's see if that worked now. I want to look at this image, and we want to make it bigger. Well, why isn't it getting bigger? Okay. Alrighty, so I can't get it bigger, so let's go and look at the next one. Wait, that's the one we just looked at. I'm sorry. Go and look at the next one. You can see more lines, and you can see some in here. Okay, and then we'll go to the next one. More lines and some over here. Next one. More, and see these sticking out here. These up here. Alright. And look at that. Coming down here into the Gulf of Mexico. This one even looks weird right there. See how this is circling around. And look at that. And then it comes down through here. See, it looks like almost like a 8. And here's the date and the time here. Okay, so then we'll do the next one. Look at that. It's actually really quite beautiful, whatever it is. Okay, then we'll go to the next one, and here it's starting to fade. And you can see these replications down here. Alright, and then the next one, and there it's fading a lot more. Okay? Alright, so we'll just go watch it do that again. Now if you can see where it's starting from, and then watch it kind of like just zoom through that whole area. One more time. Zoom. Now here is just the North Atlantic part of it, and you can see it really well there. Here's the time and date of when it's moving. Okay. We'll watch that one more time because it is quite fascinating. Okay. Okay, now this is El Dorado. And I just want to say something that I think is interesting on here is that the radar screen we can see here and also here. I'm going to animate that for a minute. Let's see what happened. Let's try it again. Oh, okay, I'm I'm going to stop in a minute. Okay, so now I can't get it to go back on, which to me is super odd, but you saw it and I saw it. Okay, so then we're going to go to look at the infrared satellite, because that'll give us a little bit better picture of what's going on here. This has been intriguing me for quite a while over this area with this huge, looks like storm all the time. And then, of course, you can see like the whole North America is covered in clouds. Even it looks like Africa, so they should be getting some rain there, which would be great, wouldn't it? But look at how this is coming up here and coming down just like a hammer. And where we saw that pattern is right in here and down into here. And excuse me. See how this is moving. And look at all this down here by Antarctica, which is completely normal now. I'm not sure if it's man-made, but it's been really wild for a couple of years now around Antarctica. And then, of course, we can't see up past this line, which I'd like to know why. But see how this is circling around here. Almost like it was pulled by some electronic magnetic energy. What do you think? Which then in turn, as this moves, affects this also. Because it's like a big river, or like when you run your bathtub, if you start putting your hand in the water and stir the water around, you can turn on the hot and have the whole bathtub full of hot water in a short amount of time, depending on the movement that you do yourself. And that is like one of the things that's going on here, is that it's stimulated and then it changes the weather. And why would they do that? So this is Investopedia, and here is an article about market futures, introduction to weather derivatives. Even in our advanced oh, I'm doing good here. Technology-based society, we live largely at the mercy of weather. It influences our daily lives and choices and has an enormous impact on corporate revenues and earnings. Right there. Until recently, there were very few financial tools offering companies protection against weather-related risks. However, the inception of the weather derivative by making weather a tradable commodity has changed all this. Here we look at how the weather derivative was created, how it differs from insurance, and how it works as a financial instrument. And then here's a whole article that you can read. I'll have the link below. Even temperature as a commodity, and right now in the Midwest in the United States, it's really cold. And they talk about why it's better than insurance. Low risk, high probability events. The same company would most likely purchase an insurance policy for protection against damages caused by flood or hurricane. But in this case, the company knows its revenues would be affected by that kind of weather. Talking about any kind of bad weather, actually. So here's the whole article. Please, and you can buy the stock. Please open your mind if you don't already have this kind of an idea in mind, and think that there are people that want to make money and would be willing to do anything to make more money, including, weather that will cause drought or smash houses, etc. Okay, let me just read this one little part. Who uses weather futures? Current users of weather futures are primarily energy companies in energy-related businesses. However, there is growing awareness and signs of potential growth in the trading of weather futures among agricultural firms, restaurants, and companies involved in tourism and travel. Many OTC weather derivative traders also trade CME weather futures for purposes of hedging their over-the-counter transactions. The advantages of these products are becoming increasingly known. The trading volume of CME weather futures in 2003 more than quadrupled from the previous year, totaling roughly 1.6 billion in notional value, and momentum of this volume continues to increase. Okay, now it's 2016. And they keep talking about how the weather is going to get worse. Okay, impossible to do, you may say. Here's Geoengineering Watch. Air Force bombshell admits they can control weather. HAARP. This is information about different ways that they can control the weather. Let's make this a little bit bigger for you here. Cloud seeding, space mirrors, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's get back on here. And there's this one part that I wanted to read to you. This is not the first time a public official has acknowledged that HAARP and weather control is not only possible, but has been and continues to be used as a superweapon, as evidenced by a statement in 1997 by former U.S. Defense Secretary William Cohan, who says, where he said, others, in parentheses terrorists, are engaging even in an eco-type of terrorism whereby they can alter the climate, set off earthquakes, volcanoes remotely through the use of electromagnetic waves. So there are plenty of ingenious minds out there that are at work finding ways in which they can wreak terror upon other nations. It is real, and that's the reason why we have to intensify our counterterrorism efforts. So, in other words, what they're saying is, or what he's saying is that because they're believing that there's people that are capable of changing the weather, that they need to make sure that they also are. And here's a tape where he's talking, and then some comments by people. And then on this page of Geoengineering Watch, which is from 2011, there is a list of weather modification companies in operation today inside the USA. And then the HAARP patents. And let's just go to this one for a moment, just to show you, when most people look up and see clouds, we see potential. And then on here they talk about what they do, the aircraft they use, how they're involved with the radar systems, how they monitor the environment. So there's a lot to see on here, although they will tell you that they don't do anything dangerous. I don't know, I think if you're experimenting with the weather, and we've seen several accidents, I would say, when there's, or maybe it's not an accident, when there's a tornado that's strong enough that a lot of people die. And where all these little stars are represent things that they've already done and where they've been involved. View all clients and projects. And you can just click on here and explore the map to view the projects. But here's a list of things, just little things that they've done, and it, I'm sure, is not complete. It goes down a lot. Okay, so this is interesting, and if you're curious, then please come and look at this. So then my last link is a link to this PDF file. This is from a group of people that are from Alaska. Everything on Earth has a spirit. So that also means, so does the atmosphere. From a rock, water, mountains, animals, everything. That's what is missing today. So how can we deal with the artificial stuff that's going on? And that is to go out and touch everything and realize that we are also a part of this. And I'm just going to leave it on this page for the ending part of this video. Our land must be treated with respect, and that also includes the water and the air. I'm grateful for you, and I'm here at your service.